200 word per minute Q&A warm-up on the record.
All right, I have now handed you what's been marked for identification as exhibit number 5. Tell us what that is, please. It is a picture we looked at not too long ago with Teresa standing outside the driver's side of her Toyota RAV4. Just for the record, exhibit number 5 then would be the image that we're looking at on the screen now. Is that correct? Yes. All right, by the way, Mr. Hallbeck, did you have any idea as to when this photo was taken? Did I ask you this? You didn't ask me that. I mean, I would guess sometime maybe 2004, maybe early 2005. I guess the question that the jury needs to know is, was this Toyota RAV4, the vehicle in which your sister is standing in front of, the same vehicle that she was driving at the end of October 2005? Yes, it is. You mentioned that Teresa was involved in the photography business. Can you tell us about that a little more? Yeah, through college, she developed a passion for photography, and hence why she declared that as her major. I would say her sophomore and junior year, she worked at Bay Park Square Mall in Green Bay at Picture People taking photos of children, mainly families.
Q&A at 200 words per minute on the record.
I take it that he is some sort of supervisor, is that right?
He is appeals coordinator, yes, sir.
He has people working under him who are responsible for distributing these appeals that come into his office, is that right?
I couldn't answer that, sir.
But you also couldn't answer whether or not he somehow prevented the processing of your appeal.
Well, he is the one that signed all returns, all rejections. He is the one during telephonic conversations said that this was at this point in time premature, or at that point in time premature.
This is a conversation you had with him?
With Mr. Youngblood.
You had these conversations with him?
Mr. Youngblood personally necessitated going through the Superior Court on a writ of habeas corpus that there was little or no access to the appeals unit in CCI.
Is that writ still pending?
That writ was denied when I was treated as moot when I was transferred out of that jurisdiction. Mr. Santaki's return, incidentally.
Who is Miss Reed or Mrs. Reed?
Mrs. Reed is the supervisor of education directly over Mrs. Geary. That is quoted in 2 of the disciplinaries from Mrs. Geary as being present and aware of the alleged infractions. Mrs. Geary was personally asked to take and get the supplements to various law books that were in there, and some of them Federal Practice Digest Second. The printing date was 79. There was no supplement to those books.
What I am trying to figure out is, what did she do to you?
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Took, in fact, underwrote the disciplinaries and refused to take and...
What do you mean by underwrote the disciplinaries?
Well, the disciplinaries speak of Mulqueen, blah, blah, blah. Mrs. Geary speaks Mulqueen violating a rule here, and Mrs. Reed was present and aware of this.
Oh, so you are suing her because she is named as a witness?
No, I am suing her, sir, because she flatly refused, after being put on appointment for almost a year's time, that her library was constitutionally inadequate, and she refused. So by refusing...
What did she refuse to do?
Update the volumes.
You went to her personally and spoke with her, and she said in your presence, said, Mr. Mulqueen, I refuse to update anything in the library?
Not in those words, absolutely not. Procedurally, this is a new institution, and procedurally, we will get the books.
I don't understand how you turn that into a denial.
Well, a denial, they never got the books.
How do you know?
Year went by, none there. The year went by.
How do you know they have the facility to get the books?
Very simple. Anytime that institution opens up practices, the ongoing violations of the institution and several different admissions and or direct quotations was aware of the 602s throughout my stay in the institution.
What you are saying is he had some role in the review process?
In the review process.
And that by his role in the review process, you are saying he participated in some denial of your rights.
By defying to act when he was aware of the violations and the ongoing violations that he failed to act.
Mr. Mulqueen, when I ask you a question that can be answered yes or no, it would speed things up if you would do that. Answer it yes or no, okay?
Fine, I understand that, sir, but we are getting a little off track here because these people have not complied with their discovery.
That is another issue entirely, okay? The purpose of this is to find out what facts you have that suggest that these people violated your rights. Now, I have told you that I will go back to my office and see what I can do about getting these things to you. And I said that I had a box of stuff in my office that I thought were answers to your interrogatories. And if they are not, then I will run it down. Okay, we will take care of that. Now, who is Mr. Stowell? I understand that he is a deputy superintendent.
Chief Deputy Superintendent, and he was aware of the numerous violations within the institution.
I mean, what evidence do you have of that?
I am waiting for Mr. Stowell to send back his discovery. He flatly refused to answer his discovery. What evidence do I have is that I had spoken to him on 2 or 3 different occasions.
Yes.
I had also directed the 602s to him.
Regarding what?
Regarding the everyday conditions, 25 602s that they acknowledged.
And
he has his name on some of the 602s, and he was aware. 2nd level. 3rd level is Sacramento.
In each of those instances, as far as you know, was he in the chain so that he would have been a supervisor of the people who were responsible for the alleged violation in the first instance?
Yes, sir.